I plead the blood of Yahushua, or in English, Jesus. The highest priest, Melchizedek. Watch your mouth before you get cars and cut the deck. Making checks, and I'ma do it making money like a car. Assassinating from breaking necks. Who is Satan? Kill Illuminati, kill Illuminati, kill Illuminati, that one-eyed prophet who's blind, deaf, and dumb, I'ma tell him one more time. You'll never stop, but you could never begin to create or recreating creation and come alive. Tell them this is respiration. I'm bored with this world. I'm sick and tired of excuses. Yeah, have your way in me. Yes, I will go. Every time they see me, yes, they will quote. Yahushua be the king. Name Yahusha is the only reason why I wear that ring. Champions all around me, outside the ring. You couldn't box me in, you couldn't close me out, you couldn't shut me down, you couldn't put me down. That's why I'm saying the Illuminati. Hallelujah to the king, like Tupac 12 gave Shotty. There's that B.I.B. Helly, I'll never leave. I'll leave you before I leave my king. As my wife, my children, and family too. I found family in Yahusha. This is what family do. This ain't out of that holla healing me. This ain't out of that holla healing me. This ain't out of that holla healing me. Yeah, this ain't out of. This ain't out of that holla healing me. This ain't out of that holla healing me. This ain't out of that holla healing me. Yeah, this ain't out of. This ain't out of that holla healing me. This ain't out of that holla healing me. This ain't out of that holla healing me. This ain't out of. Hello, way, away, away, hello, way, hello, way, This day out of the holla healing me. This day out of the holla healing me. This day out of the holla healing me. This day out of. I got a viewer. Oh, she's a viewer. I got excited and then I didn't get excited because I was like, I thought I was missing something. Where'd you go? Now feel where I'm coming from. Where did you go? Who was that came in here and then just popped back out? State your name, gangsta. Make your presence known. Yeah. Miss McGee. The blood of Yahusha. Just rock with it. All I know is I gotta get it. Yeah, hallelujah to the king. We're gonna listen to some music real quick, and then we're gonna get started. And then I need you to send me that beat so I can play that beat and spit to that beat from earlier. And Kendrick Lamar Stranded, I believe it is. And then I'm gonna dive into some other stuff because some stuff that y'all need to know out there. And this is the place for it. One of the places for it. One of the few places for it. But share the link with people who you think would like appreciate it. Somebody that you know, that you connected with. I'm doing the same thing. Alexis, she was one of the first persons I reached out to, just to let you know. Excuse me. But I'm about to clown a little bit because I like being funny. So feel free to engage in the conversation, you know what I'm saying, text and stuff like that. Leave y'all emails and stuff like that so I can send y'all some other info, some different stuff. I'm going to go over some notes and stuff like that. But we're bringing in Shabbat, which is the Saturdays, you know what I'm saying, which is the Sabbath day originally placed by the Most High. But I'm going to go into some stuff and
let you hear some stuff, different quotes and stuff from different people. It's going to be fun. It's multiple choice. It's a lot of stuff. If you have questions about anything, leave a comment, stuff like that. I'll go into that. I will engage y'all in your conversations. Yeah. So, and I do not have any shampoo.
No Charlotte Sheen, but I do it. Yeah, I'm a character, but I don't really give a Yeah, they watching them like drawing all them characters. I can't even ART, that's SOG, Yeah, I'm a work of art, and I'm being worked on. Plenty of sorrows, seeking wisdom.
I was thinking about doing that, but if I do that, I gotta play the song again. It's only right.
She a rock. Yeah, she a rock. Yeah, she a rock. Rock. Yahusha. But she a rock. She a rock. David and Goliath, come get that rock. I'm like Petros on that water. You floating with that rock. Got my house up on that rock. Watch that rock top. Crack babies, babes' heads, mountain top. I make a landscape of any city that try to come against my Yah and my people. Yeah, I leave them no pity. I gotta get it like intuition. I'm going deep with P-O-E-C-R-Y-T-R-E-E. Better know that king, you better bow down. Don't get your knees cap broke backwards. You still gon' bow. As if you really had a choice.
You ain't gonna be able to see it like that.
How good he is. Yahusha. But she a rock. Yahusha. But she
none of you will see it.
She a rock. Yahusha.
My junk is long, man.
You mean to tell me that you came looking like me in the way that you brought me into this world as your creation to show me what it means to be of a royal bloodline? That's royal.
I don't know if you can see it.
What you mean you not gonna buy?
Yes, they're knocked out. Thanks be to God, because I wasn't gonna be able to do this without them being knocked out. That's the happenstance of all that. Yeah. They got to be knocked out because it's the only way I'm going to be able to do that with them. Because they be everywhere. And every video that I make, I don't need to be like, hey, y'all need to go sit down. Daddy duties. Sit down and shut up. You know, I can't do that. See, perfect timing. This is the beat to make it all go through, yeah. This is the beat to make it all go through, yeah. Yada shalom, yada shalom, yada shalom. Yada shalom, yada shalom, yada shalom. This is the beat to make it all go through, yeah. This is the beat to make it all go through, yeah. This is the beat to make it all go through, yeah. This is the beat to make it all go through, yeah. Yada shalom, yada shalom, yada shalom. Yada shalom, yada shalom, yada shalom. Rebel up, coming in. Rebel again. I'ma do it like settle in. Thought I was summertime coming in. I'm tired of all these lies. Gotta do it in. Trip it in like the water in the pail. Coming in. Feeling so pale like a white boy. Last name white. Anti-ironic. Anti-ironic. I'ma do it in this music. Hypnotic. Go the blood that I use it. Wanna watch it. Like I top it. Hallelujah to the king. Don't drop it. Like a house. So this mask has a whole meaning behind it. Other than Slasher Scream of the 90s. We're going to talk about the 90s tonight because the 90s had problems. I know because I was there.
Blow, snow globe, shake hands, break chains, break bread, last supper, 12.
Think about it. So my music, mind you, praise be to God, he gives me the choruses and a lot of the writings and stuff like that. That's why I always give y'all glory in all my songs, and I will always do that because that's just the way it is, and it's right. So he gives me my choruses. But there a lot of them are parables. So if it doesn't make sense what I'm saying, it's not supposed to make sense at that time, or it might not be for you. But when it's supposed to make sense, it'll make sense because I'm telling stories, but I'm telling things that are now and things to come. So you really have to it's encoded. I'll just put it like that. You really have to pay attention. This is the beat to make it all go. I look like a male grown-up daddy, but Maya kind of like a dad form. That's creepy. This is the beat to make it all go through, yeah. Who want to get shot? Come get your shots. Shalom. Who's the second person up on here? State your name, gangster. Warrior. I should have been like, put your name and your information down there. Oh, whoever was the second person just dipped off. What's wrong with you? Why? You seeing something you ain't like? Oh, your gun? I didn't see it down there. You probably got jacked. Somebody probably jacked you. It was probably a child. So, this is something that me and my little bro, you know what I'm saying, we would normally do together. But since he's in Colorado right now and I think he might be at work, he probably is gonna either join in at some point and in the process end up cutting the video off. But I'm not gonna cut it off right now because I'm not gonna do that. It's gonna be going for a while because I got a lot to talk about and people need to hear this because it's very important. And this is your get your life type information important. Yeah, you probably got jacked straight up. I'm just saying. I'm gonna teach y'all how to smuggle, just to let you know. I'm gonna teach you how to smuggle. Put your lighters up. Dried in the mud. So. Let me down. Wait, I already know how. I don't think you know how the way I do it though. The way I do it, I've practiced the criminal mind. I'm not a criminal, but I can teach you some new stuff. I'm gonna tell you like this. If you ever have herb and you ever want to get herb out there, the government don't want you to know stuff like this, but I'm gonna tell you how it works. But not here, because no, I'm gonna tell you. Get you some coffee cans, right? Some fresh coffee. Get your big old thing of herb, your bag, because you know it's gonna stink for the most of y'all, because y'all be getting that herb that stink. You want that loud pack. You don't even lie. Your mama know it, you know it too. We all know it. Anybody who knows you, in that order, and it rhymes. But what you do is, my uncle taught me this. Well, cousin, but anyway, it's neither here nor there. The guy's a dick, regardless. So what you do is, you take the sack, right, of your herb, and you put it in the bottom of the coffee, and then you cover it back up because it hides the smell. And if there's dogs and stuff like that searching, they ain't gonna be able to smell it because it hid the smell. And therefore, you got perfect importation right into wherever you're going as long as the popos ain't around. Just saying. And I got a couple other methods that I'm definitely not going to talk on here because it's not for this place. But I'll talk about it on the other filtered places, but at another time. That being said, excuse me. What's the name of the beat? It's Kendrick Lamar type beat, Stranded, right? Why is it the last couple of days I started talking and it seemed like I started coughing a whole lot more. What's up with that? I don't know if I'm gonna get to it, but I have a whole plan for this piece of paper back here behind me. I have it blacked out like this, kind of, for a reason. For one, I like to set the tone with the color as well, not just the music. Because that's why I like it, and I don't like a bunch of artificial lights in my face, because that shit gives me headaches. She said, "I'm loving this man bun." Appreciate it. Yeah, like this is normally how I do different things, man. I don't like being all weird and bland. Like normal people are weird to me. Normal people need help. I'm not in any category or classification of normal at all. I'm totally odd. I like being that way because that's who I am. That's how I am, and that's the way it's supposed to be. If you're not weird, then something's wrong with you. Embrace your weird. This is that Planet Weird News. It's like that. Whoa, look at this lady's nostril game, though. Even if she's playing... Whoa, hold up. Go back. Okay, pause. Stop it. Go back. Let me see if it'll do it this time. Look at that. What is that? What are those? This lady right here, like, she has some videos that I really like. Some of them, I don't agree with everything that she says on all of them, because some of them get kind of like, you need Jesus type. But I like some of the work that she does. I'm kind of upset. I'm not upset. I don't like the fact that she cut her hair like all the way down. It seems to be a trend nowadays where a lot of people, I mean, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna say too much about that, but I think she looks pretty good like that with her hair like that. And now that it's like it's gone. It's kind of it's kind of creepy. It's not really creepy. It's still her, but it's like, why? I get why, but why? Why? I'm just saying. So we're gonna be talking about some things dealing with Marfugal News. Yes, that's his channel, Marfugal. We're gonna be talking about some other stuff too, because a lot of people don't know what's going on with China and Russia right now. If you don't like real life stuff and being like aware of real life stuff, then I would tell them do not come to this channel. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth as best as I know how to, and lead you through things that I know is accurate, and that's all there is to it. If you hear me say an F-bomb, don't dig into my skin about it. Fuck that. I'm just gonna say it anyway, because that's what I do. But I'm gonna give a whole I'm gonna give a whole class on that. I've done it before 2 different times on the word fuck, the whole etymology of it. Like, this is not a battle that anybody wants to have with these words. It's just save yourself the trauma. Just save yourself, because I will not spare you. Because I'm so sick and tired of people be like, oh, he's supposed to believe in God and he said fuck. Well, I can name about 25 scenarios where you're going to say the same shit. And sex is one of those. Like, people say weird shit, and I'm not going to go into that. But I'm just saying, like, you don't want to have this battle with me because you're not going to win. Like, you may think that you're going to win and that you thought you won because you had a last say, but no, you thought that because I just decided to shut up because you were an idiot and you sounded retarded, and I wasn't going to feed the retardedness because I loved you, because I engaged in the conversation enough to let you know as a human being, in relation as human beings, kind of, that you're, I mean, when I sound retarded, I sound fucking retarded, but I'm just saying, at least I can admit that. Now, other people's retardedness sometimes is just like, why? Why do you even exist right now in this state of retardedom? I'm just saying. Like, you're gonna have to come up with a better explanation than probably. Anyways, um, yeah. So what I'm doing is, yeah, I'm sending out some links while I'm going, because this is important stuff. Expect to laugh. I love to, bring that type of environment where people can laugh, because if you can't laugh, like, why the hell are you here? Just saying. You don't like to laugh, leave my page now. Delete my number, delete my contacts, delete everything about me, and just go on to your boredom life, because you don't like to laugh. Something is terribly wrong with you. On my channel, I do have rules. Number one rule is everything. Like, period. That's all there is to it, because I'm in where I'm at because of him. And I'm thankful for that. No, you don't always win. That's a lie. Stop it. I beat you at least one time for sure in Uno. So you don't always win. I told you wasn't gonna win an argument. It's not gonna happen because you don't always win. And matter of fact, I think it was something else I beat you at the other day too. Because that one Uno game, he was like, "You want to bet?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to bet, because I don't bet." And if I would have bet, if you would have betted money, you definitely would have been like, "Oh, well, that sucks." And I would have like, "Yeah, it does. Want to go get some ice cream?" Something like that. But yeah, you will not always win. I'm just saying. You don't want to do that. I probably sound super, super loud. Someone like back up a little bit, because yeah, nobody. It's like having 1,000 children in your ear, like, shut the fuck up. It's kind of annoying. So I respect that. I respect that. All right, so if y'all didn't know, China and Russia, right? China and Russia, this is a real thing, and it's even in the scriptures. But China and Russia have been trying to take over Taiwan, and Japan, and Hawaii is their next little target. So long story short, there's going to be an EMP here in America, and it's going to be directed by Taiwan. I mean, not Taiwan. In between China and Russia. And I had a dream about this like over 5 years ago. I'm not the only one that had this dream, a war breaking out and stuff like that. But I say that because, for one, I have to warn people. If I don't, I'll be in trouble for that, and I know what that feels like. Believe it or not, like it or not, it is the truth. The government is hiding all types of weird shit from people that you would not believe even existed. For one, you could look up a PDF. It's called Codex Magica. Then you got Event 201, Agenda 21, 23, Agenda 2030, Project Bluebeam, Project Paperclip. What the hell did you just say? I let you win. It's a strategy. You just haven't. What the? That wasn't the strategy. You fucking lost. There was no strategy. I figured your strategy out like at last second by just like, I don't even know how I did it. It just happened. Like, it's something I would do. So maybe I can't. I'm not even going to give an answer why, because I don't even know. I just knew that that's what you was going to do, and I called it out verbatim. And that strategy was not going to work. Like, you're gonna need to pull more than that out of your mind to defeat me, especially like that was just Uno. That was that one time. It's like, because I know in your mind was like, how the fuck did he even know that? Because you said it. And the fact that I figured it out that quick, that scared me kind of a lot. Kind of. But you win some, you lose some, I mean, it doesn't, meet me in checkers. Just saying. I think you were the same one today that was talking about, oh, I'll kick your butt at Mortal Kombat. You won one battle and it's like, oh, I won it all. I beat my son like 4 times. But again, to be fair, he doesn't really know how to play too much like that. I haven't taught him too much. So it's not his fault. Because he actually was, holding his own for a minute. But that was just like one battle out of like what 3 rounds is a possibility. You did good, but I still have more wins than you. Period. But next time we're gonna find out. Like next time we're gonna go round for round. I think that you'll beat me though. I you know what I'm saying. I know it's possible because when I haven't played games in like a long time, I suck everything. Like I'm terrible. Um yeah, I'd be terrible because I play games, but it'll be like every once in a while, and you know it happens. So it's a good chance that you probably gonna tear me some new limbs or something at some point in time. I don't doubt that at all. Not at all. Um, it is freaking late as crap, but I like doing it at this late because it works. Uh huh. So let me do it like this. I have a feeling he's gonna call, but I'm gonna send him this link. So yeah, a few of those government files and stuff like that. I'm gonna see if I could pull some up on here without losing my live. Hold on real quick because it shouldn't go down. Okay, it didn't go down. That's freaking amazing. Wait a minute. You talking stuff? Not even just Uno though. What else did you win? What else did you win? You got shot up. Well, I can't say that one. You almost got shot up with the Nerf though, because you shot me 3 times. You shot at me 3 times and you missed all 3 times. I'm just saying, run up, get done up. Next time I see you, it's on sight. I'm shooting you flat out. You getting all 6 bullets, and the other 6 that I got. So it's 12 total. Okay, 3. Think about it. Next time I see you, Lexus, it's on sight. I'm just saying. No words. I'm just pulling out, and I'm dumping. Period. Okay, just for you. Just for you. Remember. Oh, hold up. Pause. Pause. Hold up. Pause. What is going on? Okay, cool. It's still there. I thought I lost everybody real quick. So, yeah. You better hope you find your gun. Because if you don't find your gun, I mean, it's just you're just gonna have to deal with consequences on that. Just saying. You might get me a couple times, but somebody, baby, is not having it right now at all. They don't want to hear nothing. They is screaming their mind out. Poor little baby. Okay, this one does not have it on there, so I'm clearly gonna yeah. Let's take this one out. Let's put something with some more info on there. Newsflash, y'all want to get some stamps made, like stamps that you stamp on paper type stuff, you can get them made at like CVS. No, not CVS. Office Depot and stuff like that for like, I think it's like $15 to $20. Or Office Max. You can get business cards made for like $25. I think you can get like 100 or something like that made, and probably like 50 you can get like 500 or something like that. It might be less than that depending on where you go, because different places have different prices and deals and stuff like that. Because I know a lot of y'all are looking for businesses to be started. Wait. Yeah, exactly. Everything is a strategy. I agree. I agree. Absolutely. This is true. This this is true. This is true. But when you strategize to try to hurt people, this is where people never win. Like, I'm gonna put it like this. I have relatives that will strategize. I love them, but I can't fucking stand them. And they know that. Because I told them that multiple times. Because like, why waste your energy on being retarded? I know that because I've done it like a lot. A lot. Super, super a lot. But nobody believes me, even if I tell them that. So it's like, then at the time, you don't believe anything I say anyway. So it's like, fuck it, I just whatever. But yeah, I agree with that. Shin Tsun, that's the art of war. Off rip. I'm gonna read y'all. If you can still see me, I need you to wave. And that's when everybody be like, how the hell am I supposed to wave? As if they just have some option up there for me to wave. Send me a high five up there in the comments, please, if you can still hear me, because I'm about to read this document to y'all. It's called, the document is called Dark Future. Okay. I think I can still see you in your comments. Let's exit that out. That's trash. This comes back up. Boom. Why is it another YouTube thing on there? That's freaking retarded. I only need one. Oh my goodness. That is retarded. I can't stand stuff like that. Like, why? Why does it even exist right now? All right. So, Dark Future. I need some engagement now. I need some engagement because I need to know. I need to know. What the hell is this, man? Oh, okay. I'm about to say, bro. Send me a 5 signal something so I can read this. I can make sure that y'all can still hear me so I can read this document to y'all. I need a 5 in the text. Give me a 5 in the text. Come on, let's not make it boring. I need some engagement. Miss McGee got more comments on here than anybody. Let's get it. This is like some weird bush creatures, like all up in the camera view. The hell is that? I don't see no face, no nothing. That's me, but it looks like some weird bush creature right up in there. All right, so let's get to it. Dark Future is the document, as said before. So, Dark Future. Can the dark web become the new version of the usual internet? Now, this document is very intriguing. Why? Because in the 90s and the 80s was when the dark web was actually out, as if it was the regular internet that we have today. It was the depth of the internet where you could find places like morbid.com. And I only know about that place because weird people at that time, decided to show me that website while we were in school. And of course they were white. Why would they not be European? You know what I'm saying? No offense to the European people out there. Nothing I'm saying, because I have family members who are European and I love them to pieces, period, and whole again. But that's how it came. And they were doing some weird shit. Some very weird shit. And I've seen some stuff that I should have never been introduced to. Nobody should have been introduced to that type of stuff. Whoa! The blood. Okay. So this document says, in the translation of Valodia Original, they got the link on that. A bright competitor to the internet is maturing. Overregulation of the net is driving more and more users to its antipode, the dark web. Company Secret has inquired about the goals and fears of Darknet's heroes. Text Konstantin Bakarski. We must thank the U.S. National Security Agency in the blink of an eye, or more concurrently in the time it took Edward Snowden to make a single proclamation. It has created the entire market, says Patrick Schilzer, one of the dark web activists. Dark web or dark net are the names of a fastly growing segment of the internet unavailable to the search engine indexing, anonymous and protected. So basically what that's saying in layman's terms is the dark web is hidden from the general public because there's shit that you can do on there that you know what I'm saying, you can hide your IP address, you can hide your address and location and not be found doing some weird shit that you probably shouldn't be doing in the first place. And by weird shit, I said a high 5 sign, Alexis McGee, not an I hear you. That you're not good at following directions. Okay? I said a high 5. I gave a high 5, not responding like-mindedness. I can imagine you're sitting there just laughing like, what the hell is he talking? Yeah, I can see you. I can't see you, but you know what I mean. Like, Anyways, let's not make the shit fucking weird. It sounds weird, so I'm gonna stop. The dark web is a place where, to be truly honest, is where you got, like, you know what I'm saying, dope dealers, mafia traffic. That's where a lot of people do a lot of underground human trafficking too, sex trafficking. A lot of pedophilia rings go use the dark web. You can find drugs that you're not gonna find on the street, just anywhere. Some weird shit like Flocka. Stay away from that shit. That shit is a zombie drug. That shit is horrible. I don't know who in existence, why they would even make that shit. That is, it's, I don't know. That's evil shit. But you know what I'm saying, a lot of people, they'll sell guns there, you know what I'm saying, like they'll distribute all types of different stuff. So but it is a place where a lot of these politicians in the world have gone to do their dirty business. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at the backs of coins, you actually are seeing certain places where they will go. These are actual buildings of pedophile rings. You know what I'm saying? People who are in these pedophile rings, and they actually go there to do their little, you know, their little gatherings and orgies and different stuff like that. Those are actual locations. But that's a way that they talk to each other using the symbols, you know what I'm saying, on the coins and the monies and stuff like that. So the dark web, like the stuff that I seen was like, it was like blood rituals. It was some weird shit. Okay, like the shit gets very weird. It gets like beyond rated R and WTF at the same time. Okay. What you mean? So give me a freaking 5. What the hell is wrong with you? Just like me asking one of the staff members, "Hey, can I get a 5?" And I had to wait like 5 days to get a 5. What the fuck is that? It doesn't work like that. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, believe it or not, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they get turned off on these conversations. But it's like, bro, like, how much do you have to feel and see and experience, and your children have to go through for you to actually pay attention to what is going on around you? You know what I'm saying? There couldn't be any more signs that's so obvious and clear, you know what I'm saying, for you to see. One conversation that I had with a young lady today, very intelligent, very, very, very schooled, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that conversation for real, for real. Like that was a life-changing conversation in a different way for me. Because I get tired of talking to people who don't want to learn, and I can't do it. I just, like, inside my mind, it's like, you ever seen them? Oh, let me see if I can find a picture of it. Okay. Because this is just what I feel like in my mind. Sometimes my mind works like that because I'm an artist. So it's I have to show you pictographic things because a lot of people are like, what is he talking about? I'm like, you know what? I'll just show you because I know that this is good. Anyways, let's see. I think this will get my point across. But it's like sometimes, like you know, when you spend so much time in your own mind, and then you be around people who's like, why the hell do you even exist right now? You know what I'm saying? You get to that point where it's like, bro, just stop talking. Just lay down. Shh, go to sleep. I can knock you out to help you if you need that. But you know, the getting up part is that's a little bit questionable because I'm not so sure that I ever want to talk to you again right now, at least for another day, because your existence is it's, you know, I don't really mean it. I'm not trying to be mean to people, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, why ask a question that you know you're gonna get an answer to, but when you get the answer, now you're angry and you have a problem? Don't ask the fucking question then. Don't you think that's intelligent? Don't ask a question to get an answer, and just because you don't like the answer, now you gotta, like, don't do that. Just, that's like taking, when somebody, like, if I ask you get some chips and you take one chip, I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna break a chip on your face. I will press it against your forehead with one finger and I will crack it on your head and let it fall. And you're gonna be looking at me like I'm stupid, and I'm be like, yeah, that's exactly how I'm thinking about this whole situation. Why would you grab one chip out of a whole big ass bag full of chips? You're gonna grab one chip when I say get some, knowing dang on well you want more chips. You know you want a whole. You first of all, you just got. Come on, man, don't do that. Just don't do it. Okay, I'm look. That is disgusting. Wow. You see this shit? This is the shit I'm talking about. This stuff right here. I don't know if you can see it, but you see this? You see this? SpongeBob is not. In case y'all grown-ups didn't know. Look at this. Why? Why? This right here alone is creepy as shit. I don't know if I can see it. I'm trying. But that right there, that's not okay. At all. That's severe consequences right there. But I was trying to show y'all some cartoons freaking out, but apparently weird shit popped up. There's always some weird shit popping up. But see, that's in my mind. I'm like, bro, why? Like, don't. I lost track of what I was saying. But anyway, yeah, man. It's a lot of stuff that people don't know about. Okay, they're not gonna teach you in schools. They're not gonna teach you because they're not designed to teach you. Schools, believe it or not, are designed after Nazi Germany. Learning camps or training camps. And a lot of people don't know that. They don't know how to recognize the model or any of that stuff, okay? So one way that a lot of us will make podcasts, you know what I'm saying, we'll do music, we'll do like little videos or stuff like that, or find constructive ways to reach people in ways that you know what I'm saying, get your attention. Because there's a lot of people, me for example, me and my children, we have been hunted. We have been literally followed city to city and state to state, you know what I'm saying, by a lot of Freemasons. I don't give a shit what a Freemason tells you as far as like them not being evil. That is an absolute lie. They make pacts and oaths to not tell you. That's the whole purpose of a secret society. There's things they're not going to tell you because they're swearing an oath not to tell you. My problem with that is if you're so good and there's nothing evil about you, what the fuck is a secret? Secrets don't make friends. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, why can't we know the big secret? Y'all got whole federal ass buildings and lands and shit, but it's like we can't go on. What the fuck is you doing in it then? That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna tell us, well, that's top secret, that's government, that's classified. Why the fuck is it classified information? Obviously, you're doing some shit that you ain't supposed to be doing, and it's against us. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it. You'd be okay with sharing the information, right? I'm just saying. You know, like we want cookies too. Shit, we don't want to keep Santa Claus. We gotta lay the cookies out for this fat ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? He just pinches nothing against nobody. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you pinch your nose, you come down my chimney. Like, first of all, that's weird. I can't pinch my nose and just come into somebody's house. They're gonna shoot me. You know what I'm saying? For one, because I'm brown, and then for two, it's like, bruh, nobody told you to come in my house, and you gonna eat my cookies too. See, Santa Claus can't come in my house. That's why we don't do Christmas, because Santa Claus will get beat up. Santa Claus will walk out. He'll be kicked outside, and people going to think a polar bear got loose or something like that, because it's not happening. You came in my house to take my cookies. I'm the Cookie Monster. I put Cookie Monster out of business, period. That's why he's not showed on air anymore, because I put him out of business. I eat the cookies. Like, that's what I do. That's my thing. And I'm not going to share my cookies with this guy. You talking about ho. You ain't no pimp. Give me them cookies. You just got pimped out of everything. You slay, the presents, your cookies. You know what I'm saying? I like a new coat, and I took your coat. I ain't the pants. You keep that, or I just tear them up. You know what I'm saying? Make rugs out of them or something like that. And that'll be my story from generations. Yeah, that's the night Santa got robbed and he got put out of business. He tried to bring his whole elf crew, but they got elfed up. Just saying. Oh shoot. Snaps. You ever seen the movie Bad Santa? Yeah, it's gonna be bad for Santa. It's jingle all the way for real. But for real, you know what I'm saying? Like this what they call government, they're not a government. The word federal actually means to make a league or a covenant or an agreement, right? So in that context, you're talking about league of government or governing, you know what I'm saying, to govern or to oversee. But the government, the Indian Removal Act and the Trail of Tears just for two things. You know what I'm saying? And then the Indian Renewal Act. You can go to Dane Calloway's channel as well, because he breaks this stuff a little bit down better than I do, because when I do it, I'm going to give you the biblical text, because it literally talks about this stuff in the Bible. Everything that's in these secret societies, everything that, you know what I'm saying, you have to know why shelters exist. Okay? Our people everywhere was nomads. Homeless people used to be called nomads, you know what I'm saying? But the system as we know is designed to keep us in poverty. It's designed to keep us from knowing who we are and the power that's in us. It's designed for us not to obtain wealth. It's designed for us to only get so far, and then, you know what I'm saying, it all comes crumbling down. It's designed literally to destroy us and turn us against each other, you know what I'm saying, and hate one another. And this, they have sour-minded people where it's like they feel like they're better than somebody else because they have some type of material. And when you form your identity in material possessions, then you still don't know who you are. And it's worse because it's like you feel like you're nobody unless you have something. And I really hate is the word bum, because that word bum, when you really go into depth of its meaning, it's very degrading. To sum it up, you're a worthless person. Now, the man that was supposed to be my dad, so to speak, I don't call him dad because I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? I love him. What? What was the we're not shaman. But you know, he made a comment, you know what I'm saying, you broke ass nigga. And then like at that time I felt really empowered, because it's like, I'm not broke. I don't have the mentality of a impoverished man. You feel me? But the fact that he would say something like that, your mentality is broken. You live in a slave mentality, because you're too scared to stand up for what is right because you're afraid of how it's going to affect you. You know what I'm saying? This is like the root of activism. And to be totally boldly honest, when you look up Jesus in the Bible, Jesus was a revolutionist. He wasn't a religious nutbag. Not at all. He never called any of his people Christians. He never called any of his people, none of that. You know what I'm saying? He addressed us by brethren or sheep or little ones, you know what I'm saying, or friends. Jesus hung out with prostitutes. He hung out with murder. Like Peter, like damn near cut a nigga's head. I can imagine he probably cut the dude's head off. You know what I'm saying? He could have, but he cut his ear off. Peter was a head. He was ready to, you know what I'm saying, like nigga, I'll kill you for Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And this whole way that people are teaching this gospel, you got to remember the disciples, you know what I'm saying, they had their own issues too. Paul was a political assassin. This man murdered Freemasons, okay? This man killed Christians. This was his career. This is what he did. But he didn't just murder Christians, he murdered other people. I'm not a Christian. I went through Christianity, but you know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking anybody who's going through Christianity, but I'm saying the way that Christianity is portrayed, it is slavery. That was introduced to our people in slavery. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't realize slavery is still going on. There's a reason why the children of Israel, when they, you know what I'm saying, they wanted to go back to Egypt. They complained about it. You know what I'm saying? When you go back to the story of Exodus and everything and the story of Egypt, they wanted to go back to Egypt. Egypt was a place that was desirable for them. They wanted to go back. They were complacent and comfortable. It's the same thing today. It's the same model. But in the churches, they'll teach you like some Hollywood shit, you know what I'm saying, which is so fucked up in its own way. It's different, you know what I'm saying, and it's messed up because it's perverting the word of truth. And this is why a lot of people walking away from Yah are not being healed, because Yah has commanded his people to be healers, to lead people in the way of truth that he is teaching us. It's not about what I feel, what I think, what you feel, or what you think. Is about what he says. And when you have people teaching something that they don't know how to interpret themselves, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't ask him for his definition of the interpretation, because it's supposed to be inspired by him, the men and women that he inspired to write and copy down things that, you know what I'm saying, that's supposed to be passed down through generation in forms of poetry, in forms of you know what I'm saying, the political stuff like Esther and Ezra, you know what I'm saying? Esther, she was a queen. You know what I'm saying? She was a queen. Like They don't tell us stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? We come from a royal bloodline. Solomon was a king. This man was the most wisest man in the entire earth. You feel me? He built, like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And the Freemasons, they'll follow his template, but they pervert it. You feel me? Freemasons are Satanists. At Satanists, they're wicked. And the many Freemasons, you won't know it because they're not going to tell you. They are fucking pedophiles. That's exactly what they do. They have sacrifices that they do. They have rituals that they. Let me show you some weird shit. I'm gonna show you what these weird creepozoids do. Okay, I'm gonna show you some stuff. Okay, not playing. Freemason, of course, is gonna say not playing. Of course, this is why artificial intelligence is a bad idea. Let me stop talking before I do that. How about that? Freemasons rituals with heads of donkeys. They do some weird shit. Now, mind you, you can say whatever you want to, okay? They can say whatever they want to, but check this out. Anybody know anything about the KKK? I'm just saying. Examine the evidence, right? Examine the fruit, and you'll know the difference if the tree is good or not. Examine that fruit, the evidence, and the works, okay? Now, the Smithsonian Channel, why the Templar secret rituals were so controversial. I know that they're gonna be on some bullshit, but I'm just showing you something.
During the Templar trials, members of the order described how initiates were required to perform bizarre sexual rites, bestowing obscene kisses on the bodies of senior members. They confessed to spitting and trampling on the cross and denying the divinity of Jesus.
The accusations have been leveled at the Templars are extremely lurid, and have always attracted, for that reason, a great deal of attention. But they are there in black and white in the trial depositions, so we have to address them and assess them.
But most shocking of all was the testimony that the Templars worshipped a sinister bearded head.
In the trials, the head was described in various different ways. Sometimes they said it had 2 heads. Sometimes brothers described it as having 4 feet. Some said it was made of silver. Some said it was made of gold.
It was rumored to be the preserved head of Master Hugh de Payette. It was also described as a 2-faced skull with a head of an animal. Some mentioned a weird idol known as Baphomet.
I'm gonna stop that right there. I gotta let it out. I'm gonna show you what Baphomet looks like. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna let you know my thoughts after I show you this Baphomet creature. Okay, because I'm pretty sure you might feel this. This was the Smithsonian Channel. If you didn't hear me the first. Excuse me. But I'm gonna go to that real quick. Okay. Baphomet. Now, this weird creature looking mother bluster right here. Look at this shit, man. That's one of them. Okay. When a Freemason come to you talking about, oh, we ain't devil worshipers, tell them this. What's Baphomet? Ask them what Baphomet is. Nasty bastards. So hold up. Let me turn this light off so you can see better.
Automates your sales and marketing process so you can grow your business and still have time for yourself. Before Keep,
I don't care about that right now. Thank you though. Goodbye. So hopefully you can see.
The fact of the matter is that the Satanic Temple more than a group of pranksters who go around and take advantage of gullible people around the country trying to raise funds and promote the profane. And that's what they've done. The person that leads the group uses a fake name, and he has a history of this. Now, under the First Amendment, everyone has a right to free speech, and we respect that. Even people that disagree, I'm open for that. But also, we have the freedom of speech, I personally as an individual, and also the people of Arkansas, to say that we disagree with your profane statements and your false claims against the people of Arkansas and the attack and really a war on the 10 Commandments.
Senator Rayburn, will tell you that our monument is an attack upon Christianity. But then Senator Rapert also once described a gay pride parade as one of the most offensive displays against Christians and an attempt to intimidate people who believe in the Word of God. These are not the words of a man with the maturity of mind to act with the sense of detached jurisprudence befitting of a public office holder. Senator Rapert will tell you that his Ten Commandments monument is not a religious monument, rather it is a monument celebrating the heritage and history of American law. If he were to make this claim in earnest, it would indicate that he is as unqualified to hold the title of minister as he is to hold the office of senator.
I'm going to interject on that one because there's a few problems with his statement. One, the little thumb sign. I don't know if y'all can see this, but the little thumb sign that he's throwing up. Let me do this. Oh, you can see him. The little thumb signs, they be sitting there like this, or sometimes they'll do it like this, or sometimes they will put over the right over the left or left over the right, and then sometimes they'll be like this, or sometimes there's this one like this, like Charles Professor Xavier and stuff like that. Now this is a signification which, like, you know what I'm saying, it's like let me just do the hand sign thing where they show you, because anyway. Long story short, if you can see this thing, that's not the one I wanted. But that's when they was talking about the 10 Commandments and this, that, and the third. Now, Freemasons definitely attack the 10 Commandments. They trample over the word of Yah. They're the ones who took over 14 books out of the Bible and try to tell us that we're no good, dirty slaves, mindless school of jellyfish that ain't no good, this, that, and the third, never worth anything. But meanwhile, you seen the cross. Like, those are nice, okay. Those Christians wear those crosses. There's always a cross burning before a lynching, right? So if Yahushua was crucified on a cross,
nothing I have done has been a straight path.
Shut up. A cross or a stake at that matter, you know what I'm saying? Then why do people parade around with that? You know what I'm saying? It's like mocking his death. And there's nowhere that he told us to do that in the Bible. Okay. Christianity, a lot of our people converted to Christianity in slavery because they was either to convert or die. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Islam. They were either to convert, received. They were either to convert to Islam or they would be killed, either beheaded or burned at the stake. This is during the times of antiquities, the Renaissance time period, and so on and so forth. So they would literally kill people, you know what I'm saying, if they didn't convert, or rape them, or so on and so forth. So it is in the sense they view. Do I have that in here? Let me see. I'm gonna get to that real quick. Bear with me, y'all, because I'm like looking this stuff up as I go, because I want to show y'all the evidences, you know what I'm saying, for yourself. And I'm gonna get back to this Baphomet statue because this shit is freaking weird. But if you can see it, this little gray statue right here, this looking thing right here, I don't know if you can see it, but that goat throwing up the peace sign with bat wings and female breast titties, you know what I'm saying? Let me go to Google, because Google is going to show me some weird shit. I can trust Google for that. Google's always going to show us some weird shit. Love you, Google. Not at all. Just saying. Not at all. I really don't love Google. I freaking hate Google. This is why artificial intelligence is a very bad idea, because it's artificial intelligence, and I'll never get past that point. Like, how can you call it intelligent and it's artificial intelligence? Artificial means it's not intelligent. Like, it's calm down. Baphomet. Okay, so this ugly looking monstrosity represents the angel, the wicked angel or fallen angel, Azazel. Now, mind you, this weird shit right there, right? Why would you have children around this thing looking up to this thing? Now, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. I'm not praying to some weird shit that looks like that. that look like a nightmare out of the Chronicles of Narnia. It's goat legs. It's a pen. You know what I'm saying? One of them weird creatures with a towel covering it, and its whole stomach area is missing. Okay, and it looks anorexic at the same time. This one, it gave it male breastises with wings and a goat head with that symbol, the pentagram in the background. That's what they were. That's one thing that they worship. And then you got the caduceus. You know what I'm saying? The big pharma medicine looking thing in its stomach. Now, let me show you some weirder pictures. Because these guys get really weird. One of the names of it is Beelzebub, so on and so forth. That is disgusting. Okay, here's another one. This one right here, or some call it the Goat of Mendes, but this is Baphomet. This represents Azazel, one of the angels that taught mankind war and the weapons of war. You see this? This thing has female. So it's supposed to be like hermaphrodite goat, but the wings represent, you know what I'm saying, that it's an angelic creature. If you go to the book of Ezekiel, you'll learn some type of what angels look like versus what Hollywood will push, where it's like Hollywood thinks, oh, they all look like white people with wings, and that's not true at all. It's way deeper than that. But that's Baphomet. Okay. The image of Baphomet sitting on it. Some people are like, oh, that's just artwork. No, you're just. Let me show you some weird shit. You want to see some weird stuff? This is Planet Weird News. Okay, it's my channel. Oh well. Miss McGee, you never sent me my 5. Why? Explain yourself. I need an answer. Where's it getting? Check this movie that they passing out there as if it's free time fun.
Service Titan is the complete software solution for the home service
I'm so
industry.
tired of ads.
From the call.
The world's a circus.
God, were people really murdered here? Bloody and
Of course it's gonna pause. Why would it not? I'm hungry. And yes, I can literally stay up all night because this is what we would do. We wake up at like random hours and be up for like a random amount of hours. I kid you not. I miss it.
Say Charlie.
Charlie!
Come on, LA for 2 nights and then Coachella, right?
Satanic tourism, I have to take this seriously.
Cheer up, okay? Swear same lips.
Double face.
Room 204.
This is Lainey Gore's room.
Who the hell's Lenny Gore? One of the early sisters of LaVey's Church of Satan who slit her throat here.
What? You guys really want to stay here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Lenny Gore. Lenny Gore.
Of course, they're playing with Ouija board. I advise y'all to stay away from that shit.
I feel Lainey. Can reach her. What do you mean? She means she can summon, right? I just need willing others.
I've messed with Ouija boards. Still mess with them.
Satanis Lucifer, Justine, et Satanis.
That shit is creepy. That's an actual chant. Just to let you know that.
And he's with me here with me, and now we travel from flame to flame. I'll see you soon.
What the hell was that?
Maybe we should just blow this whole thing off and go to Coachella.
She said she would be the first and the rest would be Summit.
Oh my God.
Something happened in that hotel room and it's still happening now. What is happening? Don't you see? We all made the choice.
Welcome to La La Land, darling.
So
Hey, horror movie.
I'm gonna say it like this. Growing up, some encounters that I've had, and I'm sure that a lot of you all can relate. You probably just won't talk to people about it. I've had some encounters growing up that they were extremely creepy. But I will say this. Do your own research and really, really look stuff up. Like, seriously, get with people who... I did rituals. I did some blood rituals. I was involved with some blood rituals that I didn't know about until later on, years of my life, that I found out through research and y'all revealing stuff to me. I've chanted, you know what I'm saying? I've done some rituals with some stuff with candles, and to the point where I could feel that the environment, something in the environment changed. Like, room was enlarged, and I could feel when I was dancing, I could feel like it was something other than me in my body, you know what I'm saying? Like, moving in my body, because certain movements that I was doing is like, I didn't know how to do that. And I knew I wasn't the one in control. But anyone who tells you, and I'm telling you, because I didn't just like, oh, he just watched a bunch of stuff and then he figured out in his mind that it was like that, or he just heard a bunch of people talking. No, I literally experienced some shit that I promise you, you wouldn't want to go to sleep. Period. You would try to do whatever you could to stay awake. Because I know for me, that's what I did. Like, I literally stayed awake for 3 days. And I was drinking coffee because I was terrified to go to sleep. Because when I went to sleep, I was tormented in my dreams. That's when I seen spirits and weird stuff, you know what I'm saying? I was having dreams about stuff in the future, and every one of my dreams, for the most part, have been very accurate. Very accurate. And that used to scare me. You know what I'm saying? So I stepped away from people. I stopped going around a lot of people. I really closed up, and I sat and I thought about that stuff for years. And I'm talking about over 15, 20 years. Because I seen how people treated other people. I seen how they talked to them. I seen how they would disclude them or make fun of them. You know what I'm saying? And that didn't do me any justice, because I got angry. And in that anger, I took that anger out on people. I did have a bloodlust growing up. I loved the smell of blood. Taste of blood, I didn't love it, but it's like, I liked the taste of it. I had friends. One friend in particular was like, she just didn't care. Like, if she seen you bleeding, she would literally go like lick the blood off of you. I bullshit you not. And this is when I was in school, Columbia Middle School. And then dealing with a lot of tarot cards. A lot of people really don't realize it, but the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, if you're familiar with it, that is a Ouija board tarot card game. There's a reason why they have certain words like summoning, you know what I'm saying? And if you know anything about witchcraft and sorcery and stuff like that, and tarot cards, I guarantee you, if you asked a witch today, like, they'll tell you the same thing. I guarantee you. You know what I'm saying? I used to write the names of different spirits and stuff like that on my clothes and on my sheets and stuff like that. And when I went to therapies and stuff like that, like, I would really tell them, like, you know what I'm saying? I'd tell them some things, because I knew that the therapist and the psychiatrist like, I knew they didn't believe me anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that they weren't going to be able to comprehend what I was saying. Even though I couldn't articulate it like that, I just knew from how they talked to me. Like, I knew that they wouldn't be able to comprehend what I'm saying. Which is one of the tactics what I use in a strategic way today to a certain extent, is like, I know pretty much instantly when you're acting like you care or acting like you hear or just there long enough to just be an asshole in the future sometime. And I catch on to it pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying? And I don't normally let people know right away because it's kind of like playing the game with them. It's like, okay, now I'm just going to see how long it takes you to realize that I've already caught on to it. And then I'm going to see how long and how far you're going to go with this little game that you think that you're playing with me, and you don't realize I've already put you back in your own little game. And when you realize it, it'll be too late. You see what I'm saying? Without having to be manipulative or any of that stuff. Because I got, you know what I'm saying? I know mind games. Like, I've had so many played on me in so many ways. Like, even my mom, like, she's like a fucking master manipulator type shit. It's weird, but it's like she'll do shit to really piss you off just to get that reaction out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, she will do some shit that is like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the what? Why? You know what I'm saying? But there's people out there that do that. You know, there's people out there that do that. And in those state of beings, you know what I'm saying, just like same thing with the dark web and stuff like that. Like, these are things that I've seen, you know what I'm saying? And some of these things I've experienced growing up. And then later on in life, you know, hearing that, oh, this stuff is real, you know what I'm saying? This stuff is like, it blew my mind, but it shocked me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was terrified. Like, I was curious, but I was still terrified because it's like, you mean this stuff is actually real? I'm not as, you know what I'm saying, not as crazy as I thought I was, even though I still felt crazy because it's like, you know, who's like anybody going to sit there and believe somebody talking about spirits and magic and, you know, encounters and stuff like that? Like, people, you know what I'm saying? Like, people obviously they going to think you're weird, clearly, you know what I'm saying? Like who does that? But we live in a day and time now where people are doing it like crazy. Like, they just don't, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is because so many people are aware of this stuff, and a lot of people are coming out of the dark secret places. You know what I'm saying? Or out the closet with stuff where it's like, oh, well, okay. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that are like, oh yeah, I'm a witch. And it's like it's no problem. You know what I'm saying? It's not a problem. But the problem is when you're manipulating people in a way of a form of selfish gain and to be greedy with the intentions to do evil to other people or harm to another, you know what I'm saying, without like any remorse or just to do evils for your own gain, that's not good. You have companies like Big Pharma that does that stuff. Nobody gets healed off of pharmaceuticals. You go to the hospital, why are you not getting healed? You know what I'm saying? Then at the same time, it's like you have a lot of people, it's like, I get it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people need money, they need resources. But until you realize that you are wealth, until you realize that they need you in order to work, you know what I'm saying, to have their system, they need you. You know what I'm saying? This system doesn't exist. Nations don't exist without the men, women, and children using their abilities, their skills, and their gifts to do that. Going back to the whole purpose of the disciples and how they became entrepreneurs, because they no longer served a system that created nothing, but it didn't create anything. It just produced death and debt. You know what I'm saying? It produced oppression and struggle. It produced lack. It produced division and hatred. You know what I'm saying? And drunkenness. Like, a lot of people, like, you know what I'm saying, that there's nothing wrong with that or don't see anything wrong with it. But it's like, bro, we got to do better. We need a different mindset. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to start having some uncomfortable conversations and being okay with being uncomfortable to the point where we're in an uncomfortable state so that we can learn how to do differently so that we can actually be comfortable. Like, we should be able to have our own land. We should be able to have our own houses, you know what I'm saying, without having to pay rent. And it's possible to do that stuff even now, but if we don't have the knowledge and the education behind it, you know what I'm saying, then how are we, like, a lot of people, they just don't want to come together, you know what I'm saying? But that's them. What about the people who are already have a plan or have something in place, you know what I'm saying, and working from there when the opportunity is presented to you? It takes a boldness that comes with that, you know what I'm saying? For example, Jesus whipped the political people or the religious people out of the synagogues. Like he whipped them. You know what I'm saying? Like he whipped them and threw over their money changers. Like he was a revolutionist. He literally told them, you made this, my house is a house of prayer. You know what I'm saying? You made it a den of thieves. They're making merchandise of people in churches. They make merchandise of people in the system. You know what I'm saying? People are not seen as people. They're seen as merchandise. And when we're seen as merchandise instead of people, that's a problem, because then there's no morality in that. You know what I'm saying? And Freemasons, these people, or anybody that's like them in character, that's how they feel about us. You know what I'm saying? This was the whole point of the Trail of Tears. You take from them by making a agreement with them, and then you use methods that you know that you were going to manipulate in the first place in order to steal and rob from them. And this stuff is written in the Bible, but you have a lot of people, again, they don't know how to recognize this stuff, and you're supposed to be teaching this stuff. You're not healing anybody. You're not teaching anybody. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be continuing to follow something that's killing you. And then you work and work to barely survive. That shit is not life. That's not, I don't care what anybody thinks or says otherwise. There's no life in that. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to rejoice. We're supposed to enjoy families and stuff like that. But how can you do that if whatever you're doing or wherever you're at doesn't produce that type of environment? If you put a seed in the ground somewhere, right? Let's use the little garden that was just recently made. You put those seeds down, you know what I'm saying? You have a controlled environment where it's like, okay, now everybody's not running around the little garden box, this, that, and the third. So the seeds ain't going to get trampled on. The dirt's not going to get tilled over the whole time. And so the seeds don't be able to grow. But now that they're out there, it's raining. The environment's controlled because nobody can go back there. You know what I'm saying? Plus, it's regulated by the temperature. The brick walls block certain amount of wind and stuff like that, and debris and everything that can be blown easily from high winds. So it controls it, literally. But now you see things already blooming from that soil because the environment is conducive for it to grow. You know what I'm saying? Those seeds to grow. And it's the same as us. That's why, you know what I'm saying, we're likened unto the symbology of trees. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to put in your garden? Your mind, you know what I'm saying? Your spirit. Like, what are you going to do with your time? And this is where over time, people be like, you know, they would tell me, you got to work. You know what I'm saying? You got to work. And it's like, at that time, I was already doing painting buildings here and houses over here in Detroit, all around Detroit, east side and west side. I was working for people who work for the Detroit City Land Bank, doing demolition, doing landscape. You feel me? And we've covered a lot of spaces. Some of you might be or might know people who's been in some of the houses that I've worked on, you know what I'm saying, and work with people in. But the point was, I was making money, you know what I'm saying? I was able to provide for my family and still have some to help other people out too. But the people that were around me, they were just being an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, come to find out later when I actually grew brain cell, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, that's not work. They didn't consider it as work. But it's like, I'm making money like you're making money. It may not be a white paper check that you got, but it's still money. So how can you discredit the work that I'm doing because I'm not doing it the same way you're doing it, where you're doing it? You know what I'm saying? In your way. That's retarded and that's totally backwards. You know what I'm saying? But I came to find out the real thing is they were angry and jealous of the fact that I was able to have work that I love doing and still have joy in the midst of whatever was going on. And the fact that you couldn't break me and mold me in the way that you wanted to control me. I'm out the box in all things. I will never be controlled by another man or woman again, ever. You know what I'm saying? Those are the most narcissistic, I call them narc zombies, the most narcissistic people ever is a freak. They'll do whatever it takes to get what they want, and there's no limits to that. And anybody who's been through abusive situations and people like that, like, it's the same with people who try to sabotage. The sabotage is the same type of people. It's the same type of mindsets. Like, they're adamant about your downfall. And then they project themselves to be greater than you or like somebody that they're not, you know what I'm saying? because it gets they want their attention seeking. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it the wrong way. And they're greedy for that attention. If that attention is not on them, oh, you're such a good guy, you're such a good woman. I can't fucking stand that stuff sometimes. I really can't. Because that's not why I'm doing it. I don't want your accolades. I'm doing it because it's what you're supposed to do. Just like some people come to me to be like, oh, you're a great father. You know, I can't believe you're actually dad. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of your children. In my mind, I'm thinking like, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, why are you giving me huge props? I get why, but it's like, it's not that serious to me. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? You make a choice to be a parent, then you're going to make the choice to be a parent or you're not. You know what I'm saying? And that's just all there is to it. Like, I don't need, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about being rewarded from being a parent. Like, that shit, like, most parents don't get rewarded about it. You get nothing but hell from people. You know what I'm saying? But for me personally, walking with Yah has caused a lot of tension. You know what I'm saying? My entire relatives, all my relatives have totally rejected me and my children. You know what I'm saying? And then I have to sit there and explain to them why you're being rejected. You know what I'm saying? When you love your relatives, I love my relatives, but they're never gonna excuse me. They're never gonna receive you in the mindsets that they're in their thinking, because there's barriers, there's walls that are up because of trauma or you know what I'm saying, things that they haven't healed from yet too. So don't hate them, but at the same time, they will get on your nerves, and I can't stand them. So like I can't be around them because y'all toxic. And I'm not an angry person, so I'm not gonna be friends with angry people, flat out. I'm just not, because I don't want to learn that. I don't want to absorb that. I'm not gonna be friends with super sad people. Oh, poor me. Look, there's other things to live for. I've tried to be as angry and hateful and bitter as I could possibly get, and when there's nothing left to feel other than that, or when you feel enough of that, you know what I'm saying, you start realizing, like, in the midst of bad situations, there's still something good that you can see out of it. There's still something good that you can get out of it. You know what I'm saying? And this is how I feel about a lot of these Satanists and Freemasons. Was like, a lot of y'all became that way because of trauma. You know what I'm saying? You came that way because somebody did you wrong, or it was happening so many different times in so many different ways. It's like you just became cold-hearted because they hurt you so much. But even they can change. You know what I'm saying? All it takes is that one time out of nowhere, that least expected moment where it's like, you know what I'm saying, some one conversation can change your life. It might be an act, not even a conversation, could change your whole life. And my little bro, actually, he was a Satanist until one day, you know what I'm saying, as we sitting there studying and stuff like that, I'm like, bro, you're not a Satanist. You're not a real Satanist, because if you was, you'd be okay with pedophile stuff. You know what I'm saying? You'd be okay with robbing people, this, that, and third. And he's not a Christian either, and I'm not a Christian either, but to this day, he will read the Bible. He just showed me a little necklace that he got, you know what I'm saying, looked like a bullet, but it's got a cross on it, it's got the Lord's Prayer on it. You know what I'm saying? And it's deep, because to see where he was coming from, you know what I'm saying, where he used to come from, he would paint his nails black, you know what I'm saying, had the skull ring on, had the satanic Bible, this, that, and the third. And then over time, just showing love, you know what I'm saying, just treating you like a human being, getting to know you, we, you know what I'm saying, see what we can agree on and stuff like that, but staying consistent in Yah, you know what I'm saying, and sharing my story, what I went through and what my babies went through, you know what I'm saying, because when I was younger, I went through an illegal failed adoption. My mom gave me up at 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? Her boyfriend hit me in the eyes with a pistol at 2 years old. And they took me from my mom, right? But my relatives also were members of YBI, which is Young Boys Incorporated. My granddad, which is my mom's dad, and my uncle, Baby Ray, they were two of the 5 members that built YBI. Okay? And YBI is known as one of the most sophisticated black mafias in the history of the United States. Okay. They distributed heroin, you know, so on and so forth. They empowered 5-year-olds to 7-year-olds to push their dope, so on and so forth. And these people walking around with thousands and millions, you know what I'm saying, couldn't keep them in jail because of that, or whatever, because they were too young to charge or be held in prison and stuff like that. But they used the youth to do stuff like that. And that ain't my thing, you know what I'm saying? But it's the fact that even in that, you know what I'm saying, I know what it's like to be chained up in basements, you know what I'm saying, in the dark and in the cold, watching water rushed through the cracks of the walls and stuff when it was flooding. You know what I'm saying? Beaten till I can't damn near breathe. You know what I'm saying? Beat till I'm knocked out. You know what I'm saying? With fists in my face, or kicked and stomped on. You know what I'm saying? I had my rib broken in the midst of that, from having 1 meal a day to no meals for like 2-3 days straight. You know what I'm saying? Little Petri cups like the ones that the dentist give you or whatever that used to be in people's bathrooms for when you brush your teeth, like giving little cups like that and stuff like that to drink water. You know what I'm saying? So it got to the point from being handcuffed in the basement to a pole. You know what I'm saying? They took away all my clothes. They took away all my shoes and everything. You know what I'm saying? I got hit with a whip multiple times. You know what I'm saying? It was a black leather whip that I got from the rodeo that we had went to, you know what I'm saying, at the Coliseum and stuff like that. The messed up part about it is I picked the whip because I wanted the whip because I liked cowboys and Indians and stuff like that, but they used that mug on me. Then from being beat with extension cords to boards that's about 2 inches with holes in it, you know what I'm saying, thick-wise is inches and with holes in it. I had my left rib was broken. My left hip was completely out of place. I came into the hospital as the worst case in history of child abuse in the state of Colorado, with severe malnutrition, dehydration, and pneumonia. I ended up being in a coma for a whole month that I didn't even know that I was. I know for sure that I couldn't walk for 11 days. I was in a wheelchair, and then they tried to put me on crutches and stuff like that for a while. When I went into the hospital, they gave me 7 heating blankets to try to warm me up, but I was still like shivering uncontrollably. Extremely anemic. And anorexic, really. I couldn't keep any food down. As soon as I ate, I threw it all back up. I couldn't hold myself up in the little whirlpool that they had at Children's Hospital. And I almost drowned that day because I felt myself fainting and I went underwater. And then I heard the nurse like, "Oh, grab him, he's gonna," you know what I'm saying? But I was raped. I can't say how many times because I don't know, but I do know that it happened. And then as I turned 30, so on and so forth, you know what I'm saying, I started having these dreams of like grown men, like big men, you know what I'm saying, like trying to desperately rape me in my dream. And I just had some weird dreams about different stuff. But one of my cousins who was, she's also a Freemason, but anyway, at the time, you know what I'm saying, I guess she was around when at that time she was 10 years old. And she had apparently been watching us because in our relatives, it's like, you know, the if you're 8 or something, you know, you got to watch the children. Like, it doesn't matter if grown people are grown people, they'll put their children off on children. You know what I'm saying? So basically, it's the children raising children, and that's what it is. Like, we have never truly had real parents, so we've been left to fend for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? In every situation, like that's just the way it is. Because most of them, it was on dope, crack, cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Sean, you know what I'm saying, which was supposed to be my dad figure, I guess. He was on crack, you know what I'm saying, and so on and so forth. And I'll tell people this is my story, so I'm gonna tell it how it is. You know what I'm saying? And I name names because when people still choose to be evil, and I've given you chance after chance after chance after chance, and I'm already exposing evil stuff, then I'm gonna expose you too, so that you can never hurt somebody else like that again, especially little children. And when you mess with minds, you mess with your life. That's your life, period. And that's all there is to it. And they know because I've warned them too. And they've had their last warning. So that's the way it is. But, you know what I'm saying, from even being to the point of being duct tape high chairs, you know what I'm saying, force-fed jalapenos, you know what I'm saying? And again, this woman, Shirley Acosta, and Roberto Acosta, you know what I'm saying, like beat me in my head, just like till I'm knocked out. You feel me? I tried to run one time, and that was the worst mistake I ever did at that time because I got caught. Mind you, this man just got out of open heart surgery, triple bypass surgery. You know what I'm saying? 2 weeks after he's at the hospital, he running down the street chasing me. I'm thinking in my mind, I'm about to run like hell to this 7-Eleven because I'll be around people and somebody can help save me. I didn't get that far. I got far, and I got far quick, but it's like it failed me because then when I got put in the Suburban, she's sitting there, bow, bow, bow. You know what I'm saying? And I get back to the house, then I get kicked off the staircase into a lamp, and then they bring the belt down, they bring the extension cord down. They bring the little curtain things that you twist and stuff like that to open up the little blinds. Got beat with that, then the whip, then chain me up, beat me some more. You know what I'm saying? And at nighttime, like they would chain one of my ankles, you know what I'm saying, with the handcuffs and stuff like that to the bottom of the dresser. And these back in the 90s, they had them real dressers. Like that's real wood because it was heavy as shit. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't going nowhere. You 8 years old, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I shoveled the snow in blizzards in just a coat and some drawers. No shoes, no socks, no boots, a coat and some drawers. Okay. My duties was taking care of the dogs, feeding, water, and cleaning their pens, and all the yard work and taking out the trash. Now, I used to eat out the garbage, you know what I'm saying? It didn't matter what was going on. I ate food with ashes on it, you know what I'm saying? Dirty diapers and stuff like that. I used to drink out the toilet because that was, you know what I'm saying, that was really how I was able to get water, because when you're in survival mode, you ain't going to be picky, you know what I'm saying? This woman tried to drown me in the tub at one point in time, telling me my mom never loved me. That's why she gave me up. And then I also have been to multiple abusive foster homes too. I remember, you know what I'm saying, one of the dudes, his name was Gregory, all European dude, you know what I'm saying, lifted me up by my neck on the wall because I spazzed on him. You know what I'm saying? But this is why I have a problem with bullies. You know what I'm saying? This is why I don't like being very close to men. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like once you've been violated by people like that, and then, you know what I'm saying, like people walk around acting like they know you, but they'll sit there and ridicule you and pretty much just try to slaughter your character. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing you can do that you can be accepted by these people. You know what I'm saying? I've went through a lot of healing by the grace of God. You know what I'm saying? We've had entire churches turn their backs on us here in Detroit. I've had pastors sleep with my wife at the time. And these are people that we lived around, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then even in the midst of that, you know what I'm saying, it's like I've had close brethren, you know what I'm saying, who we lived with. We became family members like out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying, because we was all the same type of people in foster homes, been through all these abusive situations, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Our relatives didn't want nothing to do with us. They regretted having us. Like they literally told us this type of shit, you feel me? And one of my brothers ended up sleeping with my wife too. You know what I'm saying? I just learned that coming back to Detroit by somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But it was a point where it's like I've lost houses full of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We've had houses full of over $25,000 worth of stuff, something $250,000 worth of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Real Versace. I had a Versace shirt. It was a white foxtail vest type thing. It had like 14 foxtails on it. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff is not cheap. I've had real silk pajamas. You know what I'm saying? My first B&E that we did, we went and we stripped that house because apparently my brother had told me, my god brother at the time, had told me that the house had been sitting there for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was going in there, you know what I'm saying, at all for 2 years. And so by that time, of course, you're going to be like, oh, shit, nobody lived there. So like, let's go get it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't doing nothing with the stuff. So we had went in there and we took everything out. We took the wires out. We gutted it. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. And then we saw what we did. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you in the hood, sometimes you had a dream about what? You had a dream about what? I'm gonna let you answer. But I'm still gonna just send me the text or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I know what it's like to like have no lights, no gas, no water, and you gotta walk back and forth to the store because you can't trust your relatives to help you because they'll sit there and exploit you and humiliate you. I've been humiliated on social media, on live videos, you know what I'm saying, by my wife at that time, who's seductively dancing and talk about how she liked to have sex and different types of stuff. And it's like, you got a whole ass husband right here and 3 children that's watching this shit while you're talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Block us online while my children is watching because that's the only way they was able to see their mom for like the last, you know what I'm saying, the 2 months that she was gone. Now she's a lovely person, you know what I'm saying? She has that mentality where she could do anything she put her mind to, but it's like the people that she's around are very toxic. And when you're trying to prove yourself worthy to people that aren't worthy of you, even if you're their child, you know what I'm saying, then you know what comes out of that. And I try to do the same thing with my mom and them but it's like I figured out and I realized and I accepted like I'll never be accepted. But if you don't accept me, then you can't accept my children. If you don't love me, you can't say that you love my children. And I teach my children the truth of that. Like, don't believe somebody just because they say they love you. Like, they need to show diligence and consistency with what their words are saying in their actions. You know what I'm saying? And then you weigh out the diligence with that, because somebody just offering you or bribing you some type of material and possessions, that's not love. You know what I'm saying? They're buying you out with a whole different agenda. You know what I'm saying? And that usually comes with you owe me because I don't owe you shit, but the love of truth. You know what I'm saying? And loving you in truth, which also deals with instruction and correction. You know what I'm saying? And nowadays we take correction as if it's, you're judging me. Well, no, you judge yourself because of your guilty conscience. But when you take personal accountability and responsibility for your own thoughts, your words, and what you do, that's a whole different playing field. And this is what the gospel means. You know what I'm saying? It's not a religious book. The Bible is a history book. And this is why those people and creatures that took part of our story and who we are, which, you know what I'm saying, was also a stripping of our identity. You know what I'm saying? We are a royal people. It's written of us. Like, this Bible talks about us and our ancestors. We are royal. We're actually the only definition, the true definition of royalty in the history of the earth. And they don't want us to know that, because then we would be in power. Then we would make a change. Then we would oppose things that we're supposed to oppose anyway. This is why Yahusha, who they changed his name to Jesus, this is why he was a revolutionary thinking. Again, going all the way back to the beginning of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? You're just ranting. No, I'm going somewhere with it. But the question is, are you going to stay on the road with me long enough to see where the point is going? You know what I'm saying? And connect the pieces in that. Like, Jesus doesn't, he cares. He come as you are, as far as, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wants everything. He wants everything. He wants your time. You know what I'm saying? He wants a relationship. It's like building a friendship, but you're building a relationship and a friendship with the creator of all things. That's fucking awesome. You know what I'm saying? Period. Like, when I started realizing, like, dang, you talking about the creator of everything is calling me his child, and us his children that he's calling and he's choosing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that still blows my mind to this day, because it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why? You know what I'm saying? When you telling me I gotta speak to these people, I gotta tell them what you say, I didn't want to do that. At times I still don't want to do that. Sometimes I don't even want to pray for people, because it's like I'm praying for these people who don't appreciate what you're doing. And all you did was give us things in abundance. You gave us stuff to help us and heal us and help heal each other, and nothing but joy and opportunity. And we don't appreciate none of that shit. You gave them lovely. I hated y'all at one point in time. I really did. You know what I'm saying? I hated him. And I took my anger out on him. Like, I cursed his name, everything else. I tested his gangster, as some people would say. You know what I'm saying? I really tested him. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you telling me you can get me up to this pornography, this, that, and the third, and whatever else. But in my mind, you know what I'm saying, it's like, I thought him to be like every other human being, but he's not a human being. He came in a human form, but he's more than a human. You know what I'm saying? Like, this, he can do whatever he wants. He can come in any form that he wants to, but he chose to come in the form of us to show us who we are in his eyes, who he designed and created us to be, and how we should live and conduct our lives. You know what I'm saying? To walk in a place of rulership, of power and authority, and empower us and free us from a slave system, from being enslaved to creatures that had no business invading our territory. This is what the aliens are. They're wicked angels. This is what, you know what I'm saying, the demonic spirits are. They're the disembodied spirits of the giants that was murdered by the flood. Because y'all literally told them he's going to murder their children because they weren't created to have wives. That was a gift he specifically gave to mankind. Go to the book of Genesis 5, Genesis 6 and through 10. The whole book of Enoch talks about, like, don't you want to know how they got the knowledge of making nuclear bombs and rockets, and, you know what I'm saying, how to harness energy or fire, you know what I'm saying, in the name of electricity through these little wires that they call, you know what I'm saying, wires that look like veins and shit like that. How they was able to mine gold and diamonds and silver, and nickel and copper, and, you know what I'm saying, all the different minerals and stuff like that. Like how to mine oil, you know what I'm saying, how to build the machines that bore straight through rocks, and how they got the knowledge of building weapons, and, you know what I'm saying, like, people look at it as just like it's just people. Mankind is not that intelligent to do stuff like that on their own. That's the truth. That's the honest, bold truth. Mankind is not that intelligent. If you mean to tell me that you can make something so-called as artificial intelligence and sit there and act like it's a sentient being that's intelligent, you're fucking retarded. Artificial. Do you know what artificial means? Like, there's no intelligence in being artificial. You're synthetic humans and artificial intelligence trying to walk around and carry yourself as if you're somebody that you're not. You pretend to be somebody to fit in somewhere where you'll never fit in. And I finally realized, like, I'm good at outfitting. I'm good at being so-called the black sheep. I'm good at being not like everyone else. I don't want to be like these people. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the richest people, materialistic wise, in the world, they don't have any friends. Trey Songz is always bitching and complaining about some female. Oh, girl, yeah. Like, bro, you still crying over this woman who she ain't thinking that she got 5 children, bro. She doing something else with her life. She married. She not thinking about you. You can't even keep a relationship. Y'all pass each other around like hotcakes and ho hop in a Denny's diner. They don't know relationship. They don't know how to keep relationship, love, and hip hop. Housewives of Atlanta. That's bullshit. If that's what you want your daughters and your sons following after, they'll never have a good relationship. They'll never have a good marriage. And it'll never stay together. They'll never have peace that they can have in this lifetime. They'll never know joy that is unspeakable. And sometimes I've experienced levels of joy where it's like, I don't have to do is sit there and just be quiet and just be overcome by it. You know what I'm saying? Just like let it happen, because it's like it's beyond words. Like, you really have to encounter. The Bible is really it's a history book, but it's showing you an account of times, you know what I'm saying, of people's personal encounters and experiences. To experience the encounter with Yah is a totally different experience from sitting behind a pulpit or in some pews where somebody's just reading all the time. Like, you got to really encounter him. You know what I'm saying? He's a real being. He presented himself as he. That's just, you got to ask him why he does that. Why he didn't, you know what I'm saying, just come as a female spirit or whatever. Like, we do crazy shit every day anyway. Why not sit there and ask him, Yah, are you real? What is your name? We call you God, but do you have an actual name? We call you Lord, but what is your actual name? Because those are titles and positions. You know what I'm saying, like being a manager or something at McDonald's. When you go home, you know what I'm saying, your family not gonna sit there, hey manager. No, you have a name. If you're a dad, then you're the head of your house. You know what I'm saying? You're an authoritative figure in your house. You know what I'm saying? You are somebody. You don't need somebody to tell you that you're somebody to know you somebody. You don't need those accolades from men and women. Like, you are because you were created like that, and that's how Yah feels about you. If you knew that he loved you, if you knew that he gave you everything that you try to work so hard for, you know what I'm saying, to prove that you're worth something, or worth somebody, to prove that you have something and find your identity in it, you wouldn't do it. Because if you knew what love was, most times we do that because we don't know what love is. Do you love yourself? How can you love somebody else if you don't know what love look like, smell like, taste like, feel like, or even how to recognize it? You know what I'm saying? That's the problem with us as mankind as a whole. We think we know so much that we don't even know. We've been lied to our whole lives by this system. So to say that we need a savior is correct. He came to set us free from this system and the mindsets that come with it, because it leads it's vicious cycles of death. People that sit there and bomb your people for decades, bring them into slavery, raping your people, CPS, or you know what I'm saying, they're known for kidnapping. That's what they are. They're kidnappers. They gave them different names, just like the police. The police are slave catchers. They still have canine units. They traded in a whip for some mace and a gun, you know what I'm saying, and a nightstick, a billy club. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't realize these people. You have cloud seeding things, you know what I'm saying, stuff that generate clouds and manipulate the weather. You got chemtrails, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's crazy. But when somebody sit there and talk about Yah and encounters with Yah and its purpose of coming here, then that's out the freaking world crazy. Like, those people are totally nuts. But you got fucking chemtrails and everything. Have you read the stuff that comes on the back of your labels of your food? Do you know what fluoride is? Do you know that in Nazi Germany, they filled the water supply with fluoride and Depakote to dumb the people down, to make them domicile so that they wouldn't rebel? Do you know where the gun laws came from? They created gun laws so the slaves wouldn't rise up and rebel against them and do war against them, like the Gullah Geechee War. They're not going to talk about the wars of the Lord that's written in the Bible. They're not going to talk about the book of Jerry, which talks about a lot of genetic splicing, a lot of these genetic labs and stuff like that, like the genetic vaccine. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to tell you about the people that own these companies like Big Pharma, what they're really about, what they monopolize, from. They're not going to tell you that they're taking your plasma, your blood, and it's a barbaric ancient practice, you know what I'm saying? And they actually make adrenochrome medicine from your plasma because there's other people with certain blood diseases, you know what I'm saying, from a genetic mitochondria error or sin or defect in their genetics, you know what I'm saying, that they've inherited through their bloodline, that they need your blood to survive off of. This is the form of vampirism, just like narcissism is a form of energy vampirism. Vampires aren't real. They're not how Hollywood claimed it to be, but you also have cannibals too, which is a form of vampirism. That's 3 different forms of vampirism, just like there's 3 or 4 different forms of death that's described in the Bible. One is a state of mind, dead in their thinking, so they're dead while they live. They have eyes to see, but they see nothing. They have ears to hear, but they don't want to hear shit. They're hard-headed. They're blind. And they don't even know that they don't know that they're blind and hard-headed most times, or they don't want to accept it. They're complacent, right? Comfortable being lied to and seduced and indoctrinated, you know what I'm saying, and perverted and exploited, like, especially as color people. Like, y'all say that we will be a byword. They call us niggers. These people don't know the difference between the Niger River, you know what I'm saying, and the people that you found over and brought over from the Niger River as captives and slaves. A lot of African people sold other tribes that were dark-skinned people or red-skinned people that were not their people, but still look like them. And then you wonder why these Ethiopians and African people have all their shops and stuff. And it's like, you in the hood, you have this great business model and plan to help save people and to help, you know what I'm saying, the little boys and the little girls and stuff, something to generate, to produce something good for them, something different, you know what I'm saying? And you wonder why it's hard for you to get it, but they got it. Because you're still living in the African slave system. You're still living in the transatlantic slave system, which is the European commons. You're still living in the Arab slave system, the Phoenician slave system. This is where they get these rules and laws from. It's the curse of not following Yah's law. He wants you to have peace. He wants you to be free. He wants you to redeeming the time is a commandment. You need to be around your family. You're supposed to be around other human beings. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be able to connect. Fuck all this whole sign shit of, I'm a Leo or I'm a Taurus. Fuck all that. Why I say that? Because you'll bypass the person's heart. Actually, truly, legitimately getting to know people. In the 90s, we didn't care shit about that. Most of us, especially as children, bro, we just wanted to play. Let's scrape our knees. Let's build our own dirt ramps and go off our bikes, and we get fucked up, then we get fucked up. But we're going to get fucked up and we're going to play anyway. We're going to dig holes with some, you know what I'm saying, big old holes, trenches. We're going to fill it through water. We're going to play in it. We're going to take some slingshots. We might knock out your window, but at least we having fun. We're going to set some stuff on fire. We're going to play ding dong ditch. You know what I'm saying? We're going to watch some weird ass movies that we ain't supposed to be watching anyway. Look at some girly magazines that we ain't supposed to be looking at anyway. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go to the corner store. We all going to mob down there. We're going to lay our bikes down. Ain't nobody going to mess with our bikes because we're going to be like the Sandlot on y'all. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to go back home. We stay out there till nighttime, till, you know what I'm saying, or till it's broad daylight. Like, come on, man. People have lost touch with their humanity. Nowadays, you're so afraid to get dirty, and you breathe dirt all the time. All the time you breathe in dirt. You drink water that's polluted with fluoride, with lead, you know what I'm saying, with mercury, with oil. Let's get real deep real quick. Originally, all the lakes and streams were channeled off from the seas or the oceans, right? Now, mind you, there's creatures that spawn in the oceans. They mate in the oceans. Now, follow where I'm going with this. Okay? There's all types of minerals in the oceans and herbs or green plants that grow in the oceans or the seas, right? The abyssos, whatever they want to call it, same thing. So if that water trickles down to everywhere else, it's supposed to be a source apart from the man-made stuff, like before the man-made rivers and stuff like that, and lakes was made. This is how everything was nourished. Let's look at the reality of how much creation needs each other. Okay? Because it's not just affecting humans. These are living creatures. A tree is a living creature. It produces, it's living. I mean, fruit comes from it. You can't say that it's not living. Jesus talked to the fig tree. He cursed it and then he brought it back to life. You know, come on, man. You got trees that's halfway living and then halfway dead. You cut off the dead stuff so the rest of it can live. It'll heal itself. You know what I'm saying? It scabs over like we scab over when we get cut. But that's so far. Well, that's not true. He thinks that trees are intelligent. Well, motherfucker, you got to be the dumbest motherfucker in the earth to say that it's not, true. Because then what would be the whole point of the process of what I just said that people have witnessed? Do you know, like I've seen trees that literally like have blood in them. You know what I'm saying? They're like literally red, like especially like cherry oak trees and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they have sap. You know what I'm saying? Don't you have mucus? Don't you drool? You know what I'm saying? Sap is one way that it heals itself because it covers over the scarred areas and it hardens. Most people don't know what they're talking about, but you swear up and down that you're some type of zoologist, you know what I'm saying, or geologist or some type of some herbal knowledge of person. And it's like you don't fucking see that shit right there. This is a design that man can't do on his own. Miss me with the bullshit that the God doesn't exist. Like you just don't want to believe that he exists. Because then you have to be held accountable for your own thinking. Then you can't get away from it. You know what I'm saying? You can't make any more excuses for your thoughts and your own behavior. It'll challenge you directly to think. You can try to shut it off all you want to. It's gonna keep coming back. It's gonna keep coming back stronger. Just like a lot of people have dreams about stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to go to no tarot card or do a whole bunch of lighting some candles and to get an answer. Just like, okay, what does this mean? The answer gonna come to you. Yah is a living being. He has a voice. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a parent, right, and you have a bunch of children, they don't want to listen to you. They don't want to listen. They get hurt. You don't like the fact that they get hurt. You keep telling them, like, I don't want you to get hurt. Please listen to what I'm telling you. Then you get tired of talking. Then you get tired of like, oh, you know what I'm saying, explaining yourself or repeating yourself, but you're still talking. You know what I'm saying? Then you get tired of them complaining. I got hurt. Then it's like, look, I tried to tell you not to do it because I knew what I was going to do because clearly, you know what I'm saying, I could see it happening. And if I'm telling you it's going to hurt you, then why do you keep running back to it? Now you're complaining that you're hurt. Like, don't complain to me that you're hurt because you keep doing it and I'm trying to keep you safe from it. That's Yah. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they condemn him. They misinterpret who he is because of religion. Religion is vicious. Religion itself is witchcraft. It has done nothing but create wars and division. That's why I'm not a Christian. I don't go by that title because Christianity is slavery. And at its true roots, Christianity is Satanism. Just like the Freemasons looping yet again, you know what I'm saying? This is more than a rant. Going yet again, it goes back to the Templars. They have a cross. Well, guess what? The KKK burnt crosses. Jesus was hung on a cross. You see what I'm saying? Yahushua is his real name because he spoke Aramaic and Hebrew. They just called him Jesus because the Roman Catholic Church changed his name. And that was so that we wouldn't know who our creator, our father's name is. We wouldn't know who we are as a people. So they changed the names of our tribe. They gave him like Israel when it's actually Yashrealim or Ivrim or Ibu, you know what I'm saying, which is Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? And an Aramaic term for Hebrew or Natsarim, which is also talked about in the book of Acts. I believe it's chapter 2 or 5, where it talks about Paul was the spearhead of the Nazarene sect. The Christian church will teach about Paul being a Christian, and Paul's not a fucking Christian. He's never been a Christian. Europeans, that's a European religion. Same thing where a lot of people that learn homosexuality came from the Europeans. Greeks, Romans, Celts, Druids, Draconians, Luciferians. You see what I'm saying? Astrogoths, Visigoths. You know what I'm saying? Vikings and so on and so forth. The Ashkenazis, the Caucasoids. You feel me? If you really want to see real power, I don't care what nobody says. Like, y'all created all things, even the wicked. But no European and no Spaniard, you know what I'm saying, to a degree, can produce an albino child with 2 dark-skinned people. 2 light-skinned, brown-skinned people can produce an albino child, and even a darker-skinned child. I'm a prime example. After I oil my body and stuff like that during spring and summer like that, I will get, like, I promise you, 3 to 4 shades darker than my mom and Sean. Real shit. If you stick me down in like Alabama and stuff like that for like 3 months, I promise you I will come back 4 shades darker. I promise you. Period. That's all there is to it. Without oil. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. When I was born, I had golden blonde hair and gray eyes. And I guess my mom's story was that the doctor said that she had me by a white man because that's how pale I was. You feel me? And that's a totally different look from now. Being born with golden blonde hair and gray eyes. Like, what? You don't look... Yeah, it's real life. My children were all born with gray eyes too. But I was the only one out of all my relatives, I think, besides one other person that was born with golden blonde hair and gray eyes. Period. You know what I'm saying? And I know for sure that I am of royal blood. I can trace my family tree all the way back to the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? And literally all the way back to Adam and Eve, because the book of Genesis literally talks about, you know what I'm saying, the families of the earth and different tribes and stuff like that. The Indians are goes into those tribes of Hebrew, you know what I'm saying, the tribes of Naphtali, of Judah, Manasseh, Issachar, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? The Indian groups of people, those are tribes. And we're an ancient people, man. We're an ancient people. We carried scripts and books before a European was even around. You know what I'm saying? Here's another prime example. Jacob and Esau were twin brothers. Esau came out with red hair all over his body and fair skin. You feel me? So the genetic disposition or the mitochondrial error or the mental defect of health that comes from this so-called racism thing, it's a colorism and a racism. Genesis 3 talks about the woman's seed and the serpent seed. Chapter 3, verse 5. Genesis 3, chapter 15, chapter 3, verse 15 and 17. Chapter 3, verse 15 and 17. Look it up. Where Yah literally talks to the serpent and the woman at the same time, talk about your seed will be enmity with her seed, and her seed will be enmity with your seed. And in her, the seed of the woman will crush your head, you know what I'm saying, the serpent's head. And that's where Yahusha comes into place. Because in his death was signified as an open mockery of all wickedness. Like it was literally to mark their defeat, but they didn't realize exactly what it was. Like they couldn't comprehend it. And this is where a lot of people that come against people who truly belong to Yah, weird shit happens to them. There's a lot of people that's been putting a mouth on Yah's people, and you're going to pay the price for it. Some of you are going to die, and a lot of you are going to lose your houses and your monies and all this shit that you love beyond Yah. And he's going to show you through his people how much he truly loves his people. And that's the real truth. My mom developed like 5 sicknesses apart from the other 2 that she had every time she came against me. Like over time, she developed like 5 to a total of 7 different sicknesses in her body. She's lost over 4 houses since I've known her personally. I didn't know her until I was like 22. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I haven't received any taxes back since I started paying taxes because I've literally been targeted. They call it targeted individuals and gaslighting and gang stalking. Shit is beyond real. I have stories for decades. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? But knowing, like, y'all teaching me my worth, because he would tell me at times, you know what I'm saying, like, they don't think like you think. You know what I'm saying? You don't got the same mind. And he would tell me, like, know your worth. This last season, you know what I'm saying, like, from my transition from place to place, you know what I'm saying, he would tell me, like, know your worth. And I'm like, what does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear you saying that we blessed, and people saying this, but I don't feel like that. I feel like I'm cursed. You know what I'm saying? Like, the gifts you've given me, I feel more cursed than blessed or Baruch. You know what I'm saying? To be less is what I literally felt like. I felt like I was being less and less and less than anything. And my conversation with Yah at the time was like, Like I said, I hated him. And I asked him, like, what the fuck am I? That's my exact words. What the fuck am I? And when he told me, go feed my children, lead my people, my response was, you're fucking crazy. If I got to dress up like that and be behind a pulpit and act like that, I'm not doing it. Go find somebody else. You can forget it. That was my mindset, because it's like, I couldn't comprehend where it's like, there's all these people, you know what I'm saying, that sit there, they say they love their family, but you'll kill them over some money. This is a dead piece of tree with a dead man face on it, with your slave master's face on it, mind you, and you're proud of that? You're proud to raise your children up as slaves and to maintain the mindset of slaves, to maintain the mindset of brokenness, and you wonder why shit falls apart in your life because you're boasting in that? That's nothing to be proud of. That's not even worth that type of attention, period. That's a straight mockery to who we are as a creed, as a kind. Y'all created everything after their own kind. And he said it was good. And you mean to tell me that you choose to accept less than that? Fuck all that. That's why I say fuck Illuminati, period. Because they're not illuminated by anything good. They call themselves illuminated ones. That's what it means, to be illuminated or illuminated ones. But Yahushua, you know what I'm saying, what people call Jesus, he literally called us the light of the world and the salt of the earth.